This is another custom knife. My friend, V.S. Windwalker, he used it for a while until I saw it. And first, when I saw the blade, I have to say I wasn't that impressed. But then he put the handle on it, desert ironwood, and I saw him work. He carved a spoon out of oak. And I was really impressed with the knife. Of course, always the person who is wielding the tool has a lot to do with it, but I was impressed with the knife. This very sharp point seemed that it would do an excellent job. I'm more of a draw point kind of guy. I like draw point knives. Today I have my F1 with me, which has a very robust draw point blade, and you can use it for harder tasks. Now this one is 3.2 millimeters thick, and it has a very acute point, very thin, so you can really carve very well with this knife. Now I want to split this piece of wood. Tried to do it last week with my SE3. The knife was not the problem, but I had a really weak baton which broke and it was thin, no weight there. So whenever I find green wood like this, I am really happy because I don't like cutting green wood just for practicing, but if I can harvest it without hurting a tree, you know, cutting a tree that's already down, I like it. So I'm gonna attempt to split it partially. I mean, I'm gonna have to go on the outsides, and I'm not afraid of breaking the blade, breaking it, but I am afraid of hurting the edge, bending or rolling the edge. So if I have a feeling that it won't work, I'll probably use my F1. I don't know. I have been working with this knife for I think over 2 months, and it's really fun. Now I have my Mora Robust, which I keep for tasks like this, because I know the Mora Robust can take anything I can throw at it. No problems. It's also a good carving knife, a good whittling knife. And this is much more towards the all-around whittling part than the splitting part. It's just a sight to look at. It does hold an edge very well. Green wood, dry wood, very hard wood, doesn't mind, and for cooking also it does an excellent job. So let's get on it and see if I can split this without bending the edge, which is very fine, and also without getting through the wood and hitting dirt. I wouldn't want that. Now, those of you who know me know that I like to be a little rough on my knives. I mean, if it can't take it, I don't want it. However, certain things I like to be careful, because this is not a survival knife for me. It's a bushcrafting, whittling, all-around knife that's not really supposed to split wood. They don't all have to do it, and I've never come across a knife that can split huge pieces of wood and have an edge that's thin enough for carving wood. So I do enjoy using this one for carving lately. This is the basic carving knife from Mora. Excellent knife for carving. I have a 106 which I got as a gift from a friend of mine, birthday present. Excellent present. Whenever I get a knife as a present, it's just a big deal to me. I use it in a controlled environment whenever I'm at the cabin or something, because I would hate to lose that knife. If I lose this one, I paid for it and I'm just gonna get another one. It's just a Mora. And like I said, on the other hand, it does such a great job. It is a Mora. So let's see if I can split this baby. If I have the feeling that I might damage the edge. I'll just go for my F1. My second F1, by the way. Long story. So I hope you like the demonstration. Before this, I actually never split such a big, stubborn piece of wood with this knife before. I've split softer woods, and for those it works very well. And why is that? Because this is a very high grind. The spine of the knife is not very thick, unlike, for example, my Bravo. And this will less act as a wedge. So the very edge will keep going through fiber. It will be a more controlled cut. So if you're trying to split pine wood or willow in order to carve a spoon or something else, this will do excellent, as you can really control the cut. It's not really a splitting knife, of course. It is an excellent carving knife. You can see this this very acute point, very thin. And I don't know, I don't think I mentioned this and I haven't showed it, but look at the tang, the exposed tang in the handle. It tapers, which is really nice. And that is because desert ironwood is very heavy. So the knife maker wanted to keep the knife as light as possible, and he tapered the handle. It's also full of holes, I've been told. Very, very cool knife. Now, I did manage to bend the edge, and I did hold the knife in the camera as the whole blade was bent. When I pulled it out of the piece of wood, it came back. But when I went through a knot, the edge did bend a bit, and I don't know if I can show it on camera. Right here where my finger is, you can see the light reflecting differently. It does not affect the knife. I can't feel it right now when I'm dragging it across the wood. It's not dull or anything, but it does get duller than some other knives while splitting wood. Most knives will not dull when you split wood. It will have contact, the edge will have contact with a piece of wood in the first second where it touches the wood. After that, most knives that are meant to be used as splitting knives will not get any damage from splitting wood. That is what I found to be a common misconception. A lot of people say, well, I batoned this knife through a lot of very hard dry wood and it still shaves. I imagine it would. I also did squeeze my hand very, very hard on the knife because I was already tired from using my baton, and you could probably see in the video how much damage that took. It's greenwood and it was heavy. My hand was tired, and I said, if I'm going to squeeze it right now, I will feel any hot spots, I will feel if it's uncomfortable, if I feel like I can't control it, and none of those problems. If you're trying to make fine shavings, I don't recommend you squeeze your hand to the point where it might have showed up on camera. You saw me really squeezing my hand on it. That's not the best way to do it, because your hand will get tired. So what I recommend is a nice, firm, loose grip, and the correct posture will always help. It did great. It still shaves with a bit of effort, not as well as it did before. I don't know of any knife that will do that. Some people claim, but I've never seen the proof. So happy with it so far. After I sharpen it once, I think you will hardly be able to see this bend. Now, I did something with this knife that I would normally not do with my knives that have a wooden handle. I hit on the handle with the baton. I consciously did this. It's not something I didn't notice. I knew I was doing it as I was doing it, and this is because this knife is probably going to stay with me. So I thought, if it's going to sustain any damage, I don't care, but it didn't. It's perfect. So I do like desert ironwood. Also, this little guard here, well, where the handle ends, is a bit sharp. Now, if you were to choke up on the blade, that would be a problem, but I don't need to do that because of the shape of the handle. The blade is right there, and I would not possibly be able to carve wood beyond this point, so I don't need to do that. Also, the sharpening choil. I'm a very big fan of sharpening choils for, I think, 1.5 years. Some of my knives that don't have sharpening choils got one. For example, my Endura. Put a sharpening choil in there because I wanted to be able to sharpen it as far towards the handle as I could, and I don't like that extra piece of material that hangs there if you don't have one. So use them, love them, and I'm glad it was there. And it also works with the design of the knife. Very, very cool. Overall, I like the knife. I don't like coatings that much, but the mill scale I like. It has a certain look to it, a certain primal look to it. That's just fun. And like I said, the tip, very useful for carving and getting into stuff. Very nice. I'm a fan of draw point. A lot of people are. For some knives, it is very much fun to just have an acute point with which you can work with. I will also add links in the description to the knife maker, the one who made the blade, and to VS Windwalker's YouTube channel. He made the handle for this as well as the sheath. He made it for himself. It has leather hardener in it and fits the knife perfectly, and it has a fire steel loop. Also, I really like this, like my fire steel is the one with the wooden handle. I don't like the new plastic handle design. They say it's ergonomic. Doesn't feel that ergonomic to me. So I hope you liked the video, hope you like the knife. If you have any questions about it, just ask me in the comment section. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. I'd like to thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you all a great day.